Hello, today's recipe is macaroni cheese and it's a very simple recipe. It takes about 15 minutes and it's a great favourite. So I make no qualms about using Marshall's macaroni, which is a lovely shortcut macaroni because it boils beautifully, it's very, very soft, and basically you need 1 teacup per person. So into a large pot, I'm going to just make this roughly for about 2 people or 4 grandson portions because it can be frozen once you're finished. So I'm going to put 2 cups of macaroni into the pot. And it doesn't look a lot when you start, but it does go a long way. With a good kettle full of boiling water and put that on to boil. I've put a little touch of oil in the water and it just prevents lots of sticking. So that will boil nicely. I might just move that over to this ring. I'm now going to do the sauce. You can easily do this in a microwave. I tend to do it in the pot. As well as Marshall's macaroni, I'm a great lover of Brown and Polson's cornflour. Some supermarkets do their own, which is absolutely fine. My preference is this, which I always seem to get in the farm shop, but luckily yesterday I got it in Asda. I use Sainsbury's cheese though, because their extra strong cheese is really, really good. And the secret when you're doing your cheese sauce is a little touch of mustard and a couple of spoonfuls of Parmesan as well. And it gives it that lovely cheesy flavour. So the cheese block, I don't actually use all of it for a pint of sauce. So I'm going to be using ½ pint per 1 cup. So because I put 2 cups in, I'm going to use 1 pint of sauce. So that's through the boil now. I'll just turn that down to 5 on the cooker, let it simmer away. I'll set the timer to 15 minutes. And the pasta will be just perfect after 15 minutes. I'm going to get a pint of milk that I'm going to start heating. I'm not actually going to put all of it into the pot. I'm going to leave a little. Just leave that on low. These are an absolute must, measuring spoons. For every ½ pint, you're going to use 2 tablespoons. Now when I say tablespoons, make sure you level off the tablespoon like that. I'm going to use 4 of these in this particular mixture. So it's a flattened tablespoon. You can put a little touch of butter into your milk. You can also make a flour roux if you want to do the butter in ordinary flour, but I do prefer doing this with the corn flour. People have asked me for recipes, so I do have a blog. Basically, I'm just mixing up the corn flour with some water. But I tend to make the white sauce and then just add the cheese before I'm about to serve up the macaroni. Corn flour makes it lovely and smooth so that when you add it to your heated milk, and keep stirring at this stage because it does go thick very quickly. Just give your macaroni a stir while it's cooking away there. I'm going to take that white sauce off the heat at the moment. I did mention I wasn't going to use all of the cheese. So basically, with a block like this, I perhaps would maybe use about 3/4 of this block. If you're wanting it measured, it's extra strong cheese, just about 10 ounces. You can always add more cheese if it's not cheesy enough. So you can roughly grate the cheese. And we're going to add this to the white sauce along with a teaspoonful of mustard. And when you're ready to serve, obviously we need to drain the macaroni really well. I tend to keep everything separate until I'm about to do it because it does soak in the sauce. If you're reconstituting this, for example, if you've put it in the freezer after it's cooled, you might have to add a little bit more milk and some extra cheese just to get the consistency back again. But there's nothing to beat a plate of fresh macaroni cheese. Watch your fingers. So it's actually a good recipe because within 15 minutes you've got a kind of delicious dish that seems to be a favourite. So I'll just stir this again until the cheese melts. Again, don't put it on the heat unless you're actually stirring it because it will stick to the pot. I'm going to put in a teaspoonful of mustard, and again using these, don't overdo the mustard because it does actually spoil it if there's too much mustard in. So a nice level teaspoonful. My grandson says he doesn't like mustard, but he doesn't know it's in it. Parmesan, 2 big rounded tablespoons of Parmesan. Just gives it that lovely flavour. Keep stirring your sauce, but the sauce is now ready. So I'll just take that from the heat. No lumps whatsoever, and that's why I like this particular cornflour. The 2 level tablespoons per half pint always works. Okay, so after the 15 minutes, just get ready over your sink to drain the macaroni. Okay, and it has to be really well drained because you don't want waterlogged macaroni. The best way to do that is with 2 wooden spoons. Just get all that. The bigger the sieve, the better. Well drained. And pop it back into the pot with the macaroni. And then give your sauce a little bit of a stir. Add it to the macaroni. Again, I mentioned you could actually do the sauce actually in a microwave jug. Doesn't really matter. Just stir this. Make sure it's heated all the way through with the sauce and the macaroni. Again, it does make rather a lot of macaroni, and that's 1 pint of sauce and 2 cups of macaroni. Half pint to 1 teacup of macaroni. It can be added to a Pyrex dish. Put nice grated red cheese on it, bake it in the oven if you wish. Ours tends just to be served straight, so a good ladle full of that in the plate. And as I say, you can put some grated red cheese on the top or some tomato. There's a lot of macaroni left. That's a really good portion. And grate some red leicester on the top.